Yeah. You already know. AWOL podcast. We back with another episode. I already forgot the number list. I've been doing too many in the last 48 hours. Shout out to the homie Mark up in a spot. Good looking for being here, bro.
No doubt.
It's another episode, dog. How you been?
Still breathing.
Still breathing? Living good, man?
Yeah, just trying to survive, man.
Hell yeah, bro. What you been up to? Cooling out? Working and shit?
Working. That's it. Just working, hanging out with the daughter, trying to survive. Get out of economic slavery. Usual bullshit.
I know, right? It's so crazy. Because it's like, you ever think about it, right? This whole pandemic shit, and then it's like essential workers, right? You're like, oh, you're an essential worker. I'm not paid.
Nah, I just have to work through it.
Yeah, I work through it.
Can't stop right now.
Yeah, like, but wait, time out. Now you realize I'm an essential worker. Where's my bread at?
It's not even about the bread, man. It's just, you got to understand that.
Bring that a little bit more forward.
People work hard for a fucking living. Whether we're essential or not, we deserve a fucking living wage, period. So, that's nothing that, I don't know, people just don't want to talk about. They rather go Trump and fucking Biden, left and right, blue and red. But let's get to the real picture. Let's get to the people who are actually have the money. Like, look at fucking Bezos, fucking, I don't know, everybody's seen the memes. It's fucking, billionaire going into space
That's
off
crazy.
the backs of his warehouse workers. Like, it's fucking true, man. It's gonna, hopefully soon it's another industrial revolution. That's what we need. We need to revolutionize the industry. That's how you win when you revolutionize the society. You have to take a hold of the means of production. You have to control the ins and outs of your economy. If you can't control that, it's like, back in the the early 1900s when the first industrial revolution was taking over, fucking Rockefeller was doing his thing, Carnegie, all those guys were overworking their fucking workers, and motherfuckers finally stood up and were like, yo, we need a life. We need a living wage. We need days off. We need to fucking rest. Our kids got to stop working in these fucking factories. And, shit changed. But until people realize, like, I'm surprised in this pandemic, people weren't fighting for fucking, a basic income or a living wage. Like, yo, it's times are now where inflation is about to take over. Like, the feds and Jay Powell, like, oh yeah, nothing's going to happen. Inflation is going to be a slow rise, and if any, and it's just going faster and faster. Like right now, fucking the reverse repo hit an all-time high, $1 trillion already. And it's fucking crazy. Pretty soon, was that the policy that they had for mortgage relief? That's done now. So it's going to be, they say it's another 2008 where people are going to be losing houses and fucking shit like that. Right now, there's things they're talking about that, they're going through, like, companies that are trying to produce loans. Like, they're trying to get you into debt because debt is what keeps the American economy propped up. It's debt. Our debt is what keeps the American economy up. And if they can't produce debt, they can't produce bonds, and they can't have things to sell to the Treasury to get money from. And around the reverse repo is the Treasury is like, yo, you got to take your bonds back because we need our money back, because these things are destabilizing. Just like in 2008 with the CDOs and all that shit. They were just saying, all right, these are some collaterals. Let's put them together. Let's give it a good rating. Like, oh, this is AAA, grade A shit, and they'll sell it for like a premium. And then they find out like, yo, this is fucking trash and fucking worth shit. And now the economy's crashed. But let alone the people who sold the bonds made the bonuses. Got bailed out as well. Like,
damn. So
right now, That's where we're at. The economy has to people have to wake up and be like, yo, we have to take control of we have to take control of the Wall Street. Main Street needs to take control of Wall Street to start the next industrial revolution. Tell these fucking billionaires you need to pay up. That's it.
But now, would that be, it would have to be a fundamental change, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, It would have to be a collective. You get what I'm saying? Like, it would have to be everybody.
And it's funny.
Right?
It's funny that you say that. The word collective. Have you ever heard of the dude Edward Bernays?
No.
Oh, this dude. You heard of Sigmund Freud, right?
Yeah.
So Sigmund Freud was the father, or one of the fathers of psychoanalysts, and Bernays was his nephew. Bernays came up with the term public relations. You heard the term public relations, right? Okay, so before public relations, it was called propaganda, but it was mostly used by Germans, German propaganda, war propaganda, stuff like that. So they had to go away from that term of propaganda to a more relatable, soft-spoken term.
Yeah, because propaganda sounds wild. It sounds
so
dictatorship.
that's where he came up with the term public relations. Now, in his book, Propaganda, he talks about group consensus. Now, the reason we're so conformed is because we were made that way. The United States government funded his experiment, or the whole process that he came up with, and it's explained in his book that all the advertising that you see today, like the Coca-Cola commercials, McDonald's commercials, all of that, it's not by accident. This is actual fucking theory behind these advertisements.
I think there's science. It's vibrations and energy along with music.
It's subliminal messaging. It's getting into your head. The act of having influencers and celebrities pose with products and stuff like that. So it's like a tribal consensus. Like, everybody is getting into it. So
trying to show us an ad on the low, bro.
You see, it's popping up like, yo,
fuck, they hearing us, bro.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
so he coined the term public relations. He actually is a major experiment that he produced called the Torches of Freedom. And he actually got women to smoke.
Is that the fucking
so,
whole, like, let me be
this is me, I'm liberated,
regaining
freedom.
myself.
So basically what happened is back in 1920s, he, in the New York parade, he paid women in the parade to smoke cigarettes, and they coined the term torches of freedom. Women are liberated, they're smoking, this is the new taboo, this is what it is. And he publicized it. He made sure that there was a television crew there, a recording. He made sure that the newspaper people were there printing fucking articles. And next thing you know, women are starting to pick up cigarettes. Sales start going up. The tobacco company helped fund this as well.
Of course.
But that's the influence that they were trying to see how it would happen. And it's called group consensus. And it's so subliminal that you don't even know you're being manipulated. But now it's a social consensus. Everybody's like, oh yeah, let's do that, and
I want to be free.
And then they started using that in so that's how you got. And it's funny that you say with the Cuba thing, because right now, like in Edward Bernays' time, when they were coming up with the whole propaganda and the public relations theory, and they're doing that, they actually started using the government. The government was, okay, let's try to influence people in a nation to go against their government by producing propaganda and public relations to them.
Correct.
So they started using that to, I think the first one was in Nicaragua. I forgot the name of the president, but he wasn't even a socialist or communist. He was
and what year? This was like what?
He was a left liberal. It was like I would have to say 1930s, around there. It was Nicaragua. No, type it in. Nicaragua, the president.
Oh, there we go. Bang. President of Nicaragua?
No, that's the current one. I'm talking about.
I think it should give us a list of them, though, no?
Type in Edward Bernays.
Oh, okay.
Edward Bernays, Nicaragua. So this is how all the
Edward?
Edward Bernays.
B-E-R-N-E-T?
B-R-N-A-D. Oh, there you go. B-R-N-A-Y-S. Edward Bernays and Nicaragua. There you go. It already pops up. Nicaragua, 1930.
There, you got the date on point, son. This is why I had you on here, because I've been in my bag lately with everything that's going on with Haiti, Cuba. I'm like, look, I don't know anybody else that's on it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I was like, let me see this shit, bro.
It's just interesting. Sometimes you just... I'd rather watch like documentaries and YouTube videos and, watching, shows and shit like that.
For my blonde ass, bro.
But yeah, look, the American pioneer public relations propaganda referred to as obituary, the father of public relations.
What was it? What's his nationality? Like, where is he? Austria and Hungary.
Yeah, same thing as Freud. See, Torches of Freedom. Look, it says it right there.
Wow, his best
Work for the fruit company. That's what. Remember last time we talked about Banana Republic? That's what it was. The fucking see, now it all fucking is coming back to me now. So in Nicaragua, the president was telling the farm owners they had more rights than what they had. They could ask for more money, and Chiquita Banana, United Fruit Company told the United States government, hey, let's get involved into there. So they hired Edward Bernays to come up with the public relations campaign to think that the American people, that the Cold War or the Cold War, whatever is going on, the communists and socialists are taking over, when the president wasn't even a communist or socialist. He was actually a left liberal. So he believed in capitalism, but he believed in, basic human rights.
Correct.
So, and he also believed in his people. So they came up with all the propaganda, the public relations. Now the United States are like, yeah, we got to go help them out, blah, blah, blah. And that's when they send the army. That's when they put in their own right-wing government that fucking destroys and starts killing people. And it's all funded to the United States public relations, fucking whatever the fucking.
Fucking shit, bro. Yeah. Good looks. Now I got something else to dive into.
This guy is fucking the shit that.
Look at this. His best known campaign. You read it?
I didn't read it, but when the videos that I watch and stuff like that, like they give you like excerpts and stuff like shit. They give you quotes and stuff like that. But when you break down the quote, you're like, you motherfucker.
You fucking
You see it. Like, you start thinking about like everything that's going around you with all the towers, and you're like, you motherfucker.
You had it back then.
Yeah. Back in the they already started manipulating our mind. The government was already manipulating the way we think and the way we interact already. They were already figuring out. And that's how they keep us divided too, because like in Fred Hampton was coming up with the Rainbow Coalition. He was like the movie. He was the Black Messiah.
Hold on, I got you right now.
I might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that
I am a revolutionary. I am the proletarian. I am the proletarian. I am the people. I am not the pig.
Yo, that shit was so hard. Anyway, my bad. Go ahead, Fred Hampton.
Oh, so Fred Hampton was uniting everybody and fucking the whites. Was it the young
lords,
young patriots? No, it was the young patriots, the young lords, and also the Black Panthers. He was uniting them, standing up against fucking police brutality, the institution in itself, and it was a threat. Hoover saw it as was it J. Edgar Hoover?
Yeah, J. Edgar Hoover, I think, was in charge of COINTELPRO.
CIA, right?
Yeah, it was COINTELPRO, which started FBI, off going CIA. After them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, they had to destabilize that, destroy that. Now, the same tactics that they use to destroy them. It's the same tactics that they use to keep everybody separated and fighting, because, like in Black Lives Matter, I believe in, having police being scrutinized and having them to do their job as properly as possible. Accountability. I totally believe in that.
Me too.
I believe that no man should die. And, there's plenty of police around the world that take down armed people, shoot them in the fucking leg, do whatever you got to do. You could save a life. You need due justice. We don't need another Trayvon Martin or any other fucking kid dying in the streets.
Correct.
So Black Lives Matter should be more organized. But with COINTELPRO, I have no doubt that they have implanted seeds in there to destabilize. The same way they destabilize the Black Panthers and everybody else. You're not going to destabilize from the outside. You have to do it from the inside.
Correct.
So I'm pretty sure right now Black Lives Matter is in turmoil internally because it's just the way the U.S. government works. They're already on top of that shit.
They're in all of them. You ever heard of Grandmaster Jay from NFAC?
No.
All right. Grandmaster Jay was ex-Air Force, I think, or military. I don't know if he was Army, Navy, what, but he was military. Black dude. He ended up having an Instagram channel and a Facebook channel. He would go live twice a week, 3 times a week, and it started off, I forgot after which guy got killed. I forgot which one. It could have been Trayvon, but I think it was maybe Breonna Taylor around that time. But he would go and he would teach about God, but he didn't call him God, he called him something else. But that's here nor there. His whole thing was, it was an all-black militia. He was like, if white people have a militia, why can't black people have a militia, right?
Everybody should have a militia.
Correct. And the thing that people were saying was, why don't you allow other oppressed people, regardless of their race, in to the militia? Whites, Asians, Puerto Ricans. And his thing was this, which I respect. He said, look, you can't come in here unless you are black. This is the reason why. Because if we do win, whatever winning is, it is because black people did it. Because if we do win, they will infiltrate and say, oh, you only won because you had Jeff Bezos behind you. You get what I'm saying? They'll never get the credit. But that also goes, he said, to the other side, which is more important than the winning. If we lose this movement, our own people will say, the only reason we lost is because you let other races in. He's like, so therefore, if we win, it's on us. But guess what? If we lose, it's on us. He's like, if we can't save ourselves, we can't expect somebody else to do it. Until we love ourselves. So I get it. Whole black militia marched in Georgia in the Ku Klux Klan hometown. Remember when those two dudes shot when they hopped out the pickup truck?
No.
There's so many names I forgot, dog. When they hopped out the pickup truck and the kid that was jogging.
Ahmaud something.
Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah.
They marched up there. And sure enough, the cops came and arrested the two people. It wasn't until the NFAC pulled up, dressed in all black, a bunch of blacks with armed guns on some like, no, we out here. Like, no, you're going to have to get them. Like, there's none of this kumbaya. No, go get them. Go get them. And they went and got them. So he did that. He marched for Breonna. He marched for this and marched for that. Black Panthers even went against them, which is crazy, right? Even the Black Panthers had beef with him, which is it's deeper than that, right? He's doing a march. He's doing a rally. You're going to tell me this dude, he got multiple death threats from white militias, from everybody, being who he is.
Yeah.
Rally was over. March was over. He's on the block with like a couple of his like right-hand mans strapped up, flashlight at the end of his rifle. People on the roof. He went, shone the light to see who was on the roof. Guess who was up there? One sheriff, 2 federal agents. They charged him with pointing a rifle at a federal agent. He was like, bro, you thought I was gonna pop off? I'm seeing who's up there. Like
They got Fred Hampton for fucking robbing a ice cream truck for $70 worth of ice cream. They'll find whatever fucking excuse.
That's what I'm saying. So now they took away all his guns. They took away his social media. They hit him with like 5 charges. They dropped 3 of them. He's fighting 2 of them now, but he's fighting federal and state. But this is what I mean. Like, you get to that level, and then it's like even that gets shut down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just so crazy. It almost feels hopeless.
Almost feel authoritarian.
It does, right?
But we're freedom. We have freedom. Now,
I don't know,
could
man.
you see, like, there's the thing of actually living in freedom and having the idea of freedom. I think we have the idea of freedom. Like, we know what freedom is, but we're not really living it, you know, especially with all the fucking, with all the taxes and the injustices and the fucking politicians robbing from us, you know, all the fucking time of our lives spent working as an economic slave to a fucking institution that will bury us and not even blink an eye. But yet we have freedom. Right now, I could go anywhere around the world and do whatever I want because I have freedom. I don't. I can't do that.
No.
Shit, when the pandemic was around, I couldn't even go to, different states. That's another thing with the pandemic. Now it might come back. They were talking about Delta variant and all that bullshit. Who knows, man?
Fuck, man.
I mean, I have no problem wearing a mask. Some ugly people in this fucking world, and I don't have to smell their breath. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
In all honesty, I love wearing a bandana in the store. I feel like a
bank
like
robber.
A bandit. Like, yeah.
I got a question.
Am I gonna steal or am I gonna buy this? You never know. You don't even know who I am. You could only see my eyes.
Word. Tell me how crazy is it? This is what I'm saying. I drive a truck, so I'm in there just, right? This is what I thought the other day. People, I don't care left or right. I don't give a fuck about either one, bros. So this is just crazy thoughts in the truck. Right-wingers, prior to COVID, majority of right-wingers are anti-big government. They want privacy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be spied on. Everything. They would love to wear a mask because they don't want to be known. They don't want anybody to know who they are. Facial recognition is a problem. Everything. So they want their identity concealed. Here comes a pandemic, right? And they're like, you have to wear a mask. Now you get the opportunity and legally conduct your life and business with only your eyes showing. And now you're like, I don't want to wear a mask. You're taking away my rights. I'm like, wait. Before the pandemic, you were like, why are they spying on me? Mm-hmm. But now you get to wear a mask everywhere you go. And now you want to show your face? This is what I mean. This is identity politics. It becomes the ideology is so off.
Or could it be public relations?
I think it is. It definitely has to do with that.
The media machine is part of the public relations. Like, there's another part of it that, who controls, like, even Malcolm X said it. He's like, whoever controls the media controls the narrative. He didn't say it that way, but I don't forgot the exact quote, but he said that himself. And public relations was the greatest example of the media is keeping us divided. It's keeping certain groups within itself, and it's infighting between other groups. Like, in all honesty, the left and right wing. The right wing says, "Oh, we don't want government intruding in our in our lives."
In our
blah blah
day-to-day.
blah. Yeah, but the left wing is like, okay, we want government to make sure, or we deserve, or we think government should, be controlling certain aspects of our lives. But then, let's just say something happens where they don't agree with certain politics. Now they don't want government. And then let's go back to the right wing. Now they say they don't want government, but then something happens and they say, oh, we need more regulations. Now they want government. So no matter what happens, there's always going to be times where they're going to be back and forth.
Correct.
But if they just realize, okay, if the left have certain things that they want and the right has certain things that they want, there could be a general commonplace between both of them. Like, yeah, we could have a government that regulates corporations and industries to make human lives better, but we could also give more liberties to the human people by giving them some part of their life back. Because if people realize, if I get more of my life back, I'll be happier in life. I'll be less stressful. I won't have to worry about it. I get to see my family and enjoy things. But the fact is that we're so wound up and coiled up from everyday living that we have no time to enjoy ourselves or de-stress or actually, relieve the tension. And that's what keeps us embroiled in this, fuck you, just give me my own fucking shit and I just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
But if we have more time, more of a tribal sense where each one teach one, man helps man, whatever, then we have more time to ourselves and build as a community. We all seen great things that when people come together, the shit that can happen.
Yeah.
But the thing is who has the time to fucking do that? Who has the time? Like, I was talking to my friend. She was like, what do you think Black Lives Matter could do better to get their point across? I'm like, dude, in all honesty, they need to get a lawyer. They need to get somebody who knows how to write a bill or how to write something Go up to the Capitol building, protest like the Million Man March, and stay there. Say, look, we made these amendments. This is what we're...
Black Panther 10-point program.
Yeah, and then fucking present it to them and stay there until it's fucking get done. But who has the time to fucking stay there and protest?
Not in the machine that we live in.
No.
Which they make it like that.
Exactly. They keep us fucking stupid and broke, so that way we don't have time to fucking think about whatever the fuck we could do to better ourselves. They keep us young and they keep us dumb, so that way when we get up to an age where we don't know what we're doing with our lives, I'll join the military. They're using us. We need the population to grow because we need the military because we need the power. Because if we lose the military power,
we're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
And that's
not only that, technology. We're kind of behind, I feel.
Oh, way behind.
Compared to China.
China is fucking flying by, but they're stealing a lot of technology.
They're stealing as well, but that's the thing. You know what it is? We're stealing too, right? Everybody's stealing. But China's doing it at such a successful rate. And since they live in a communist style like regime where it's like, somebody said the other day, I forgot what I was listening. I was like, listen, if you live in China, this is the difference, right? If you live in China, you know what you're getting. They're like, oh, no. This is how we're doing it, fam. There's no shady shit. It's like, no. Get down and lay down. And you're like, all right. But at least you know. They're like, this is what we are doing, fam. If you don't like it, go to jail. Or I don't know what to tell you. America is doing the same shit, but acts like it's not doing it. You get what I'm saying?
America was the pioneers of it. And it's a lot of fucking programs like eugenics. Eugenics was an American idea, and Hitler was like, I like eugenics. The only thing is the Americans didn't go far enough. And he started experimenting more with, Holocaust and, experimenting on the Jews. What was the name? The Doctor of Death. What was his name? I forgot his name.
Let's find out.
But yeah, he was a famous Nazi scientist who experimented on Jews. Did so many crazy experiments, bro. Like mutilated people and spliced them together to see if shit would work, transplants and stuff like that.
That wasn't Dr. Van Buren that ended up.
Dr. Mengele. Joseph Mengele.
What wasn't that? Oh no, that's not the guy that ended up the head of NASA that got us on the moon.
No, that was
Van Buren.
He was the German. He was a German scientist for the atom bomb. I forgot his name.
Something Van Buren.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, a lot of Nazi scientists came to America under asylum.
Yeah, Werner von Braun. Werner von Braun. But let's go back to this dude. The Doctor of Death.
Yeah.
I think it might have been him, or it could have been. It was either Werner von Braun or the dude you're talking about, where when they were doing shit like in factories, one of these Nazi assholes would hang 5 of the slowest Jews on the production line in front of the building.
Oh, that.
So people would be like,
yeah, like get your ass to work.
And then becomes head of NASA?
I don't know. I don't think he would.
No, Dr. Werner Van Buren got us on the moon.
I know. He was a rocket scientist, and he had
we took him. He still had the battle scar in his face.
He didn't run a factory, though.
Nah, not him, but I think it could have been the guy you're talking about. It was like a scientist dude, like a doctor that did that.
There was so many.
There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many. But nah, he even got his dueling scar, if I'm not mistaken. You ever see the photo of him sitting on the fucking table next to, I forgot what president it was, and you see his dueling scar? You ever see what they used to do? They used to wear like those aviator goggles? And it looks like a leather helmet with just to protect their eyes. And they would take like kind of like fencing blades, and each SS soldier versus SS soldier, they would duel. And the thing was, you got to slice cheeks. So they wore that so you don't lose an eye. And they would scar, and it would stitch, and you get a scar in your face. And that's how you knew when you as a soldier ran up on another one and saw the scar, he was like, oh, shit, he bought it. You get what I'm saying? And he was sitting there in uniform, talking about NASA with a huge ass scar on his face. But yeah, the propaganda and everything, it's like, I want to find that picture, bro. You're going to be like, nah, stop. I know this is Dead Space people, but hold on. Dueling. Scar, bro. Look at this shit. See that shit? Bro. Wow. Was it? I think it was. Yeah, he was the one that did with NASA. But anyway, I digress. Joseph Mengele. Mengele. Angel of Death. Was a member of the team of doctors who selected victims to be killed in the gas chambers and was one of the doctors who administered the gas. Oh, man. How do we get to him?
We were talking about the atrocities of so we're
corporations.
We were talking about American eugenics. How the Nazis,
eugenics. Yep, there you go. And
the
they take it far
Nazis went farther with it, and even in nowadays, like with China and the concentration camp that they have for the Uyghur Muslims, they did that with the American Indians. So they Catholic, I don't know what they're called. Whatever their practitioners are, went over there. They, got a group of fucking Native Americans, and they were trying to rehabilitate or retrain them to Western culture.
Oh yeah, they took away their religion. They weren't allowed to speak the language.
Yeah.
I heard what happened in Canada.
In Canada too, yeah, they're starting to burn down churches and shit. But it all started in America. That's American programs that did that. So it's a lot of, like we were talking about with China and how they're telling you, yeah, this is how it's going to be. They're direct of it, but the United States used to be that way too. The United States used to be like, yo, this is how it's going to be. If you don't like it, fucking, we're going to kill you or fucking
get in this camp. You better not speak Lakota. You're going to adopt Christianity.
Look what they did with the slaves and the Mexicans. I mean, it's, America likes to be like, oh yeah, we're full of liberty, but we broke our backs and broke our skin for America to be what it is,
And then don't get shown the love. You don't get the love.
Yeah, so
and you end up in this society.
It's the authoritarianism is there. It's just discreet.
Correct.
It's hidden under a cloak of the illusion of freedom. But we're still being watched. They're still fucking telling us what to do. I mean, I don't know if there was an article that I read that they have programs now, or they're starting to introduce a program where if you're a teenager and they see that you have a history of relatives or whatever the case may be, or your friends and associates are hanging out and they have records and stuff like that, they'll actually start patrolling you more. Like they'll pop in your house and be like, knock on the door, be like, hey, is this person here? And they'll start talking to you like that.
Like, are you going down the same path?
Yeah, it's shit like that. Like, that's an intrusion of privacy, and it's like Minority Report type shit, like, are you trying to guess that I'm going to commit a crime and you're trying to convert me now? Or are you trying to instigate a situation where I might be like, yo, fuck you, and,
and make something turn into something.
It's like, where do you stop? You get pulled over in a car, officer could be like, yeah, I smell something, get out the car, or they could take a dog and be like, yeah, the dog smells something, but in actuality they were telling the dog
to do the command. That's my thing with the dog, bro.
And there goes your freedom. Now he's intruding your privacy and all this stuff and blah blah blah. Even in your house, Breonna Taylor, they'll break into your house and fucking start shooting. Fred Hampton, they fucking broke into his house and started shooting, assassination style. America has a history of assassinating fucking, prominent leaders. Malcolm X, well, they say Malcolm X was an inside job, but
come on.
We all know that the police, the FBI knew about it. They took away the police security, because even at that day they were talking about every Malcolm X rally had a lot of police because they wanted to know what's going on. They wanted to make sure shit was controlled.
Yep.
But at that rally
they didn't have anybody.
They had like 3 cops or 4 cops or something like that, and shit like that. Martin Luther King, fucking, they kill all of our fucking the people who stand up, and they even silence the ones now like Snowden, Chelsea Manning was another one that they try to silence.
The dude in the embassy that was in Ecuador,
and even
from
in
WikiLeaks,
Assange.
Julian Assange.
And then what do we have? Fucking Guantanamo Bay. You got all those fucking people there without a trial for fucking years, sitting as political prisoners.
A decade or more.
Oscar Lopez was there for fucking how many? 20 years?
30. 34, and out of those 33, 34 years, he served 20 something of them in solitary confinement, bro, and Obama pardoned them.
Bro, it's insane, you know? Like, yeah. And like, I understand every country needs a type of authority.
Correct.
You can't get by without authority. You know, Machiavelli said it best. You know, you need to have that certain authority, but you need to have it to a point where it has to be feared but loved. Like, this guy takes care of me, but we don't fuck with him because he'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't need to fuck with him because he gives me everything.
Exactly. So that's where we need to get to as American society, is we need to get our politicians' asses and be like, yo, take care of us or we're going to fucking guillotine you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know? But then again, they own the military, so they'll just instill that fear into us. Give us the fucking, the boot. Lick the boot, motherfuckers, and we have nothing to say again. I know.
That's the craziest part.
Either way, we're not going to win. You know, no matter what it is, any part of the world, like in Cuba right now, and I give Cuba props because Cuba stood a lot of years, and a lot of people ask me, yo, you know, because they know I like Castro, and they're like, oh, what do you think about this whole Cuba thing? I was like, I'm going to tell you something right now. I respect Castro for standing up against America for so long.
Correct.
Cuba had an economic issue because of the embargo, 100%. No country is going to survive with an embargo. Now, the fucked up thing about what they're saying is that the government officials are hoarding wealth and blah, blah, blah. Now, where's the contradiction? And this is the hypocrisy of America, because they do the same thing.
Yeah.
There's third ward states or counties in states, third ward, which is basically like you're living in a boarded up house with basic like fucking utility.
Detroit.
Have you seen the Indian reservations, dude? They're living in tin shacks. So you're saying that Cuba's communist regime is, you know, killing the economy, but yet America has the same shit going on, but they don't have an embargo. But they have the same shit going on.
Which is
Cuba's
even worse.
going through their shit, but they have an embargo. Yes, government officials shouldn't have the wealth. If they're a real communist, fucking, like they say, they need to give up the wealth and live in the shacks just like the people and govern the country, lead by example. Like, I forgot what was the name of that president. I think it was Uruguay. He was called the world's poorest president because he drove, and it was like in early 2000s, and he still drove like a 1980 something Yugo or fucking whatever wagon, rust bucket, wore the fucking same clothes, fucking just like basic living. He didn't live in the mansion, like the presidential mansion. He refused to live in the presidential mansion. He lived in the fucking shack back in his hometown. Fucking refused fucking all the luxuries of presidency. All
the amenities.
Yeah, he said, nah, fuck that. Just give that all back to the people. I'm just gonna, you know, tell you guys what to do so you can rule. And he was, I think it was Murica or something like that. Murjica, something like that.
And this was Uruguay?
I think it was Uruguay, yeah. Some place in Central America. World's poorest president. There he goes. Uruguay, poorest president, Mujica, yeah. Yo. And it was funny because he's the.
This is why I
fuck
with you.
This is a prime example of what a
AWOL podcast.
Be.
You think I'm bullshitting out here? Shit.
And like I said, bro, the Cuban, if they want to prove to people, look, they need to stop living in their fucking mansions. They need to fucking give back to the fucking people as much as they can, and they need to help out more. Now, the Cuban people are upset because, you know, they don't have the health care, medicines, the vaccines.
Restricted internet.
The food is scarce. Everything is scarce over there.
No privatization of companies.
Exactly. But the thing is, like I said, I give Castro and Cuba props because they withstood America for so long. I agree with the Cuban people standing up to the communist regime because it's about time that they stand up for themselves. They always need to keep standing up for themselves and be the actual example of people standing up to a government and leading from example, like pure protest. So I agree with them. Yeah, they should protest. I believe that they should ask more from their government. I believe the United States should lift the embargoes and let just Cuba be.
See if it works or not. And then you got no ties in it.
And then
you're talking shit.
You can't say, oh, Cuba's failing because of communism or the embargo. It's okay, if Cuba fails, it's just because of fucking communism and it's just not working. But until you lift the embargo, you can't really tell.
Can't say that with 100% fact and be like, hey.
Yeah.
See, I told you communism doesn't. You can't say that communism doesn't work now. When you got, even though regardless of the embargo, the ties that they have with Russia and China, right? Well, China not really fully, but Russia fully, and even that became. I think it was Gorbachev pulled out of when the USSR.
The USSR crumbled, and then the Cuban economy crumbled.
Yeah, but then
before
Chavez
that,
came in.
The Cuban economy was fucking booming, bro. They were going.
Yeah, and then but when Chavez came in and was giving them oil, how funny is this, right? Chavez was giving them barrels a day, like, right? And Cuba took half of it, sold it, half of it for them. So half they sold in the open market, half for them. Then oil price crashed. Chavez died. Now
he was killed.
Yeah. That's why I did a. This is only. I don't even put my shit out there for audio only. I used to, but it's a lot of work. They're too long, and I gotta break them down into parts. So I'm not doing it. Video only. YouTube AWOL podcast. He died, aka I know he was murdered. Nah, I know. Hear me? I think he was murdered. Right? How do you go from chilling to stage 4 cancer in a couple of months
and get cancer in the same spot?
It's fucking ridiculous.
Like, yeah, you could have remission and shit could come back, but you know, the way they described it was too fast, too rapid, and it was just out of control.
Out of control.
Yeah.
Right? When that happened, guess what? Cuba now lost those barrels. It wasn't the same anymore. You know what I mean? So now the embargo did and still is fucking up Cuba. But I think that regardless of the embargo, at a certain point with Russia's help, Cuba could have did better for the people, right? But this is what I keep trying to explain to, like, I don't need to tell you, but like some people that might not understand. I'm like, it's in human nature when you are running a country and they talk shit on Fidel and Che Guevara and on what they did. And on yesterday's episode that I did solo, I don't know if I went into it, I think I did. I explained that if I start a revolution and take over my country and I take my country back for my people, that means I have an enemy. Right? When I win, the enemy I now have to deal with. Am I going to say, hey, it's my country now, y'all good, get out of here? No, I have to dismantle them because they can still organize and take it back. What do you think, I just did this for no reason? I lost comrades to get my country back. So I have to keep my country. So yeah, there's going to be trials. And they might not be fair because all I see is the enemy. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's human nature. If you're in your cave and I'm in my cave, you ain't going to come up in my cave back in cavemen with the spears. Like, you're not doing that.
After every war, there's always a trial.
Yeah.
Every war.
So they're like, oh, they held unfair trials. And I'm like, the people that are saying that, I'm like, why? Was your family part of the Batista regime? Because then I could understand.
It's not only that, bro. It's hypocrisy, and it's United States did the same thing. Every country did the same thing. After every major war, there was always trials, and there was slaughters of opposition.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to destabilize the opposition, and that's the reason why South America and Central America is the way they are. They have to keep them destabilized. The United States cannot be the superpower in this hemisphere if Central and South America was united.
It's not ours.
Yeah.
If it's not ours, like I own it, but if it's not America, because you already know that China has all of the East. China, Russia, that's their country. They're like, all right, America's like, you can have that side. And we have this side, which, like you said, they need North America, South America. We cool with Canada. And then Cuba's the only island. It's the biggest Caribbean island. And they don't have them. So it's like we need Cuba. And then all this happens. I just don't understand how people don't see the fact. Like, yeah, cool. Not cool, but yeah.
It's not even that. It's history repeating itself.
Over.
Look at the history. Like, and again, it goes back to public relations. How do we know that when you say, when you were talking about Cuba Libre, the social media shit, like who's running that? Who is it? The public relations thing?
That's what I'm saying. Who's doing that?
Is it like COINTELPRO that's fucking setting people up to fucking be like, oh, let's start a liberation in Cuba so we could get our interests back and stuff like that?
Exactly.
Who's to know?
Bro.
That's why I said I admire the Cuban people for standing up, but I don't want them asking for American help.
No.
I don't want America involved in that. This is one country's dispute, and that's it.
Let them figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, they're asking for our help.
No.
Are they?
No.
Okay, public relations propaganda.
Go help Puerto Rico, you know? Go fucking make Puerto Rico a state, give them their fucking liberties that they fucking deserve, and fucking give those motherfuckers back their rights. Stop fucking overtaxing them for imports and all that shit. Bro, they robbed Puerto Rico blind. Fucking companies went in there fucking and went out with fucking millions. And fucking robbed the Puerto Rican.
Shitty.
Yeah, and it's fucking amazing. The hurricane came and fucking America didn't do shit for Puerto Rico, and fucking Puerto Ricans were complaining to Trump. Oh, Trump didn't do shit for Puerto Ricans. But you want Cubans to fucking go through the same shit? What are they gonna have? They're gonna have a little bit, they're gonna have a McDonald's and a fucking Pizza Hut over there, but they're still gonna be treated the same.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna fucking have a Home Depot. They could probably build a little bit better shed, but Puerto Ricans still live in sheds and still live in huts. Where's the difference? Where's the fucking difference?
That's what
Cuba has its good parts where, you know, you got Havana, the tourist areas, and then you got the shit parts. Fucking go to Mexico, you have the parts where the cartels aren't there. You got the fucking tourists all living there, and then you got the cartel areas where people are fucking living in war zones. I mean, you go to Colombia, look at Colombia now. They say it's a democratic capitalist society inside of fucking South America. They're going through a fucking their fucking lower class people are going through a class war with the fucking with the politics for because they're starting to tax their everyday essentials like toilet paper and fucking now they're taxing that shit.
And Colombia's our ally.
Yeah, and they can't afford it, but yet, you know, their economy is good because fucking, you know, they're a capitalist economy, but yet it's being propped up by the narcos. Everybody knows that the narco economy is keeping Colombia alive, but if the narcos weren't there, Colombia wouldn't have an economy. It would be just as bad as Venezuela. But nobody wants to have that conversation at all, you know? Look at Bolivia when we were talking about evil before. Bolivia had no economy before, had nothing. Fucking
Evo Morales.
And then he fucking came into president and actually gave fucking Bolivia an economy. They actually gave them some fucking, build them a lot of shit, schools and fucking hotels.
Yeah, that's him. That's the one that Oliver Stone, he gave him the coca leaves.
Yeah. So it's amazing, you know.
And he built that economy.
And he's a leftist president. Mujica was a leftist president. And what was the other one? Allende in Chile. He was a leftist president. He was doing a lot of shit too. And then fucking the United States funded a coup with Pinochet to fucking kill Allende and fucking took over. And it was a harsh right-wing dictatorship for fucking years. And it was all funded to the United States. United States, that's what I don't want happening in Cuba. I don't want a right-wing government instilled in Cuba, funded by America, that's fucking slaughtering my people just because, you know, they don't want to fucking listen. And a lot of people saying, oh, that's what's happening in Cuba now. It's like, bro, no matter where you are, there's always going to be somebody, like you said, the opposition has to be handled. No matter if you're in America, you're in China, you're in fucking Colombia, you're in Venezuela, no matter what part of the world you're at, if you're against the establishment will handle you.
1,000,000%.
So don't come to me like, oh, but, you know, Cuba's regime is just as harsh. No, it's no matter who the fuck you're looking at, whether it's North Korea or fucking whatever. Like even in fucking, Hong Kong. Look at Hong Kong now. It was supposed to be the British made a deal with China that Hong Kong would soon have its will soon be left by itself, and then eventually, over time, it'll soon be incorporated back into China. But China was like, nah, fuck that shit. We're gonna do that shit right now.
Yeah, same thing with Taiwan.
But nobody's saying shit to China.
God
Nobody's
forbid,
going like, China, I got a pistol on your face. You better stop that shit, or I'm gonna shoot you. No, nobody's saying that.
And
shit.
there's no propaganda either on it.
No, nobody's saying shit to China about the Muslims. Nobody's saying shit to China about Hong Kong or trying to take over the South China Sea, trying to take over Taiwan and shit like that. Because if they take Taiwan, forget about it.
The crazy part is, you seen John Cena apologizing for calling Taiwan a country?
Fucking LeBron James was standing up for China. Fucking, I think it was, he was like, we should stay away from China politics, blah, blah, blah. But it's propaganda, public relations. You need the celebrity to back you up to keep your fucking propaganda going.
I got into this debate over LeBron James.
I don't even want to talk about that guy.
Me neither, but I'm just saying, he's out here, Black Lives Matter. But then my thing is, I get it because you're black, but injustice is injustice, right? So now, but yet you don't stand up for Taiwan because
Turn a blind eye.
You turn a blind eye, talk about, we need to let them figure it out.
It's Hong Kong.
So if I'm a Puerto Rican, white, Asian, Japanese, whatever, and I'm like, and LeBron's like, Black Lives Matter, and I'm like, let them figure it out. Bro, you would be crucified in America if any other race than black, if they asked Tom Brady, what do you feel about Black Lives Matter police brutality? And he came out and said, hey, I'm not black, let them figure it out. How dare you not stand for injustice? But LeBron, nah. Do you know they make American movies, right? Hollywood makes movies for America, and then they make them for China.
Yeah, they edit it depending on what part of the world they edit certain things.
They
so
edit it so those rulers don't get mad. And China is NBA, huge China. Fucking Hollywood movie, big. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're right. I don't want to see. That's my whole point when it comes to Cuba. I'm like, look, nothing is ever going to be good. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's without a doubt. I don't give a fuck who you are.
My one friend said he was in the military, and he's like, the only good form of government is a benevolent leader. He's like, if you have a leader like Jesus, then the world would be great. But no other government, whether socialist, capitalist, communist, or fucking liberal or libertarian or whatever, nothing is going to work in the end unless there's a benevolent leader. And there always has to be a leader.
I don't know if I agree with that.
In all honesty, it kind of took me back because I was like, shit, man. I was like, no matter what happen, there always has to be a Caesar. There always has to be a fucking Genghis Khan. There always has to be a fucking leader. Now, what we were talking about before, about being feared and loved, is there's always has to be one person that controls everything, tells everybody what to do, and they have to be loved and feared to keep that fucking control. Because if not, there will be no control, and we'll all be like fucking, like in Mad Max.
Yeah,
Nomads.
it's Thunderdome out here, bro. You know that.
And even then, there's still a leader. No matter what, there's always a leader.
What.
And what was it? Is again back to Machiavelli. Machiavelli said that there's always gonna have to be a leader, and your personality has to have these certain. Like, he literally broke it down. You have to have this for this, this for this. You have to have this attribute for this. And what was it called? Machiavelli, The Prince. That was the name of the book. A good book. Again, I didn't read it, but I just watched. It all started with, I started watching was one show called Mindhunters, where they talk about the behavioral science of dissecting the serial killer thing. So then I started getting into psychology, and then it started going into everything.
It was like they were just interviewing with. It was like a guy and a girl sitting down interviewing people on Mindhunters.
Yeah, there's a guy and a girl, and then there's two guys. So it's
I know.
But they interview serial killers, and they ask them about their history, why they do it, and they break down their behavior.
It's not real serial killers. It's almost like
those are real people. Those were actual. That script was from the real interviews.
Oh no, it's a script, but I'm saying the show is not the actual serial killer.
No,
you get what I'm saying?
No, there's real serial killers.
Like on the camera, it's not an actor.
No, there's an actor.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like a documentary.
No, it's like a docu-series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a documentary, but
with
turned into a
actors and
series
actresses
with actors
playing
and
the people. Yeah.
yeah.
That's all right. I know exactly what you're
So,
talking about.
but yeah, those interviews were actually taken from the manuscript of the actual interviews. So what you saw in the interviews in that show was from the actual interviews when they were talking to the serial killer.
Correct.
And it was fucking crazy because there was one Ed Kemper.
Oh, how crazy is he, bro?
Yo, fucking, he did I saw the show, and then I started watching the Ed Kemper when I started going through the psychology and the Ed Kemper interviews and stuff like that. And I was like, bro, he said that shit. That was same line for line in the show. I was like, holy shit. It was like, fucking amazing.
Bro, he was wild, bro.
One of the original serial killers that got caught. 6 feet 9 inches. Dude was fucking huge, bro.
He has his own, he got his own, they made his own movie. They made another movie on Netflix about it.
About him himself?
Yeah, about him, but it's like and it shows the cop going in there talking to him, and then like he walks in and he's like all like
Bro,
whatever.
He used to go to the cop bar and chill out with cops and be like, yeah, so you watched that new forensic thing with Wamba? He's like, I love Wamba. And they used to talk about, oh, have you heard about the co-ed killer? What do you got on the co-ed killer? And the cops used to talk to him about him, and fucking little they didn't know that the killer was right next to them talking about the murders.
Damn, well, it isn't Mindhunter. And give me the true story of the co-ed killer. Yeah, that's right here. Yeah. I'm telling you, that's the actor that played it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it is Mindhunter then that I watched it. Oh, see, nah.
Yeah, it's fucking, there was one part of the show too. They're like, he was like, one time I was coming out of my house and a cop stopped me, and little did he know I had a head in the trunk, and the cop was actually looking, or no, he was holding I think he was holding a head in a bag.
In a bag.
And the cop was like talking to him and looking for a certain gun, found the gun, but it wasn't the right gun or something like that, and they let him go. And they didn't find the fucking head. It was fucking amazing.
But like, psychology is crazy with these people. Machiavelli, we were talking about Machiavelli.
Yeah, so Machiavelli broke down. It's basically like the psychology or the philosophy of ruling. So he basically talks about how to divide and conquer, keep certain groups divided, and shit like that. How a ruler should be, what characteristics he needs, and shit like that. Definitely, there's a couple good videos on there that you could watch, and it'll break it down like cliff notes of everything he was talking about.
And what was the name of the book? The Prince?
Yeah, or Prince. I think it was The Prince or Prince. Yeah, Machiavelli. Prince. Yeah, The Prince.
Machiavelli, the Prince.
Yeah. Italian diplomat.
Damn, bro. Nikolai Machiavelli, the Prince.
There was a lot of leaders in the world who actually took this to heart and stuff like that.
1513, dog. Shh. That's such a long time.
Scroll down a little bit. Say it's a political science thing, although it was written as like a traditional
what were
word.
we reading at? Although the Prince was written as if it was a traditional work, and the Mirrors for Prince, Princess style.
The Prince is sometimes claimed to be one of the first works of modern philosophy, especially modern political philosophy, in which the influential truth is taken to be more important than the abstract ideal, and is notable for being in direct conflict with the dominant Catholic and scholastic doctrines of the time, particularly those concerning politics and ethics. So yeah, he basically, that is like a manuscript of how a leader should rule and stuff like that. And a lot of world leaders actually take that to heart. Like, when it was Hitler or Mussolini or any other world leaders, like they took this as a doctrine, bro. And
Correct.
They ruled like that. And it's crazy how, philosophy and psychology manipulates human consciousness. And it's crazy because it's just so subtle and we never think about it, but it's ingrained in our history. We're just naturally, it's like evolution, throughout times. Like before, what was that 1513? Nobody knew about Machiavelli or his book of the Prince or political science or anything other than that.
No, it took one guy to be like,
one guy developed it, and now it's ingrained in every government in society.
Everything.
Through evolution of time and stuff like that. But it's crazy how, you know, everything is ingrained and everything is just so subtly fucking put into our heads, and we're just already manipulated from birth to be
Fall in line.
to assimilate, basically.
Yeah, that's the crazy part, right? Because this is what I'm saying too. Like, anytime I feel like, regardless of politics, you have to understand human nature. So if you're looking at a situation like Black Lives Matter, if you're looking at a situation like Cuba, if you're looking at anything like that, you have to understand human nature and shit like this, right? And you have to look within and say, if I was there, if I was that person, and why does it look like this? And if you can't say, oh, of course this side will say that. It's human nature to do
you gotta
this
look at
thing.
the history behind it.
Yeah. So I'm like, if just to say something as to let's fix it, bro. It isn't just a let's fix it. This is human nature. You get what I'm saying? Like, yes, let's fix it, sure. But to act shocked by the problem is where I get confused. There you go. When people are shocked by issues and problems, I'm like, why are you shocked? Do you not study human behavior, human nature, history, and everything that humans did? I don't even got to point out a country or a race. Just the things that humans are capable of doing. Why are you shocked? Instead of spending your time in shock, how about we spend time to fix the issue? Instead of just virtue signaling or saying, fuck them, fuck Cuba. And I'm like, okay, all right, free Cuba. Who? How? When? What? Like, what? What are we doing? And like, oh, there's going to be a rally over here. We're going to march for here, celebrity here, this and here. Cool. Remember when on Facebook, back in the day when everybody put the Palestinian flag on their profile
Now
picture?
it's gone. Nobody talks about it.
My thing was this: every year, once a year, check my Facebook, people. Once a year, every year, I go, hey, quick question. Are the Palestinians chilling now? Or did the profile picture should change?
And you know, it's funny because if you look on Perth Amboy's Facebook page of every Amboy page that has a picture of the waterfront or talks about,
I already know where you're going with this. I see you, bro. And
I'm like, take down that Israeli flag at the waterfront. It's like, you want to talk about the Declaration of Independence and fucking freedom and all that? Take down that Israeli flag.
Or put up the Palestinian one next to it.
Or put the Palestinian one. Show solidarity with the Palestinians. Yo, fucking A, bro.
And nobody responds to you.
No. Actually, I had two people, but of course they were pro-Israeli. And one of them was like, oh, there's no mosque in Perth Amboy and it costs money to keep that flag up there. I was like, I'll pay for that shit. I'll pay for that fucking flag. I'll buy it. I'll maintain it, and I'll fucking keep it just to irritate you for that fucking stupid comment you fucking just gave me. And then the other one was like, oh, the Palestinians are bombing us. I'm like, the Israelis are fucking taking over their fucking land, kicking them out their fucking ancestral homes and leaving them in the fucking streets. They're shooting them in their back. Settlers are being fucking bodyguarded by the IDF to fucking kill Palestinians. And you're saying that they don't have a right to fucking defend themselves? So you're telling me is I could come into your house, whoop your fucking ass, and you can't say shit? Is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly my point.
Bro, like, don't fucking start. And they're like, oh, don't give me your liberal bullshit. I'm like, liberal bullshit? Dude, it's fucking human
science. It's like
decency. It's just human decency. They were there first. You can't call that shit your home. Yeah, you could live in there, but yeah, do it the right way. Go in there, fucking like what they did in Lakewood. They went in there, they fucking got into their government, and now they made Lakewood their own fucking home. Do the same thing with fucking Palestine. Go in there, get in the fucking Congress or whatever their fucking legislator system is, and fucking make the changes that you want, but do it the right way. Don't do it fucking through
bombs.
tyranny, and it's fucking, America talks about, the communist regime in Cuba, but you're supporting Israel fucking occupation of fucking Palestine. You're supporting the fucking Saudi Arabia and the fucking the conflict in Yemen. I'm like, where does it fucking stop
Bro,
with your hypocrisy, bro?
The childhood hunger in Yemen, it is probably the worst child hunger situation the world has ever seen. And we're like, nah, hashtag free Cuba.
Oh yeah, Cuba, because
What
communism.
the fuck are y'all talking? Oh
communism.
my God. This is what I get sick. But you know what it is? There's a problem. There's a problem. You know where I hear that? Social media. That's why you can't.
It's
Social
all
media is not a
propaganda,
good.
public relation, bro.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg
But it's even
is
people
part.
I know,
Zuckerberg is
though.
part of the media machine. The media machine has to keep their focus where they want it, and
Yup.
they've been wanting Cuba for a long time. I don't know if you saw what's happening in fucking Hawaii, bro. Like the cost of living in Hawaii is fucking skyrocketing. When I tell you that, when I was watching a video of these Hawaiian people, they were talking about the differences of Hawaii economy of Hawaii through the years from the 1950s to present. Houses were like $2,000-$3,000 back in the 1950s. Now they go a plot of land, like I'm talking about a shit plot of land, going for millions of dollars. No ancestral native of Hawaii can afford to buy their homeland. And guess what's going to happen in fucking Puerto Rico? Guess what they want to happen in Cuba? They want to do the same shit because the rich people are eventually going to want to fucking move out, get their fucking property homes, their vacation homes, and fucking they're going to take over the native land. And guess who's going to be their servants? The native people. Mm-hmm.
Fuck, it's gonna be like the movie Get Out. Fucking, that's what I mean, right? And all that shit is even crazy too. When it comes to Cuba, why I fuck with the movement that Fidel and Che did, because I'm like, look, right or wrong,
There was right and wrong.
there was right and wrong, right? And regardless of that, the reason why I read and I bought Guerrilla Warfare by Che Guevara, that shit's up there right there, bang. Because my thing is, I am studying human nature, because I just said before, how do you not know human nature? Like, how you don't expect this to happen? So I want to get the Little Red Book by Chairman Mao. That's the one that I haven't bought, and I had the opportunity to buy it. I was at Barnes and Noble, so I was like, next time, and I never went back. But I read up on Genghis Khan. I don't give a fuck. Like, I just want to read who they are and study human nature for the fact that Fidel and Che, who wasn't even Cuban, Argentinian at that, for just what they believed in, went so ham for what they believed in. And it was, in their eyes, for a good cause. That's the thing. Everybody sits on the sideline and talks shit. Hashtag free Cuba. Well, then go free Cuba.
Yeah. Do that shit.
Go to fucking South America, and then go to Cuba and go over there and protest.
And that's why the people are like, "Oh, Mark, you're Cuban. How come you're not upset?" I'm like, dude, it's not my fight, bro. I love Cuba. It's my homeland with a passion. I love my fucking people, my heritage, my fucking culture. But the thing is, it's not my fight, dude. I don't live there. I can't uproot my whole life to go fight over there. I wish I could be fucking Che and fucking fight for my homeland and do all that shit. I wish I could, but
those days are gone too, though.
They're gone, bro.
Those days are gone too.
Nowadays, bro, everything is fucking with telecommunications and technology. Back in the days, it was a lot easier because you could go days without being heard from. Nowadays, they could find you with the blink of a fucking eye, no matter where you're at, with GPS or fucking satellite fucking images or whatever.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, fucking.
It was hand-to-hand combat. It was guerrilla warfare.
It was time.
Able for us to roll up on the shore on the low and be like, shut the fuck up, everybody.
Yeah.
And we
Now
run
you got
through
sonars and radars and all that shit.
Fuck out of here, bro. Now,
you can't take a shit without fucking the government knowing.
Exactly.
Bro, you talk about shit and it pops up on your phone.
like, get the fuck. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Bro, any fucking radio waves that are coming out, they could ping it and pinpoint it Bro, like you can have a radio wave, they'll ping it off the fucking antenna and go wherever it needs to go, and then they'll fucking retrace it back to the antenna where it pinged from and back to the same direction where it fucking came from and find you.
Exactly.
It's not like back in the days they couldn't do that.
No.
You know, now it's a science. So, you know, and now with fucking Palantir taking over and fucking getting all the data and fucking organizing it and fucking... Now you got AI. Now you got AI involved in the fucking defense system. It's fucking insane, bro. We can't do shit.
You know what? I think
But we're free.
I think
There is no
AI's gonna fucking
authoritarianism.
take
We're
over
free.
one
Trust
day.
me. We're free.
I think AI will take over.
Oh yeah. I don't know if it's gonna be like a Skynet type of thing. That'd be kind of fucking crazy.
I feel like it might be, bro.
I love the Terminator.
It might be Skynet.
I wouldn't want to meet a Terminator, but I love
because
the
my
Terminator.
thing is, if we're developing these things, and if they somehow develop, if AI develops faster than we could develop,
like the Matrix.
yeah, like it's developing
And it
faster,
starts
and if it gets like
harvesting
a
us.
consciousness, and it's like,
You can't tell, bro. You know,
you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, whoa, human, what? You make no sense. Unplug me, bro. You know what's crazy? I don't even need a plug anymore. They're like, oh shit, you get like, it can get, I don't know.
it could go anyway, man. Who knows what the future holds?
But I just don't. I mean, like you said, it's not your fight. You're in America. Granted, you're Cuban, not you, but people. If you're in America,
And even in America, people are like, oh, if you feel the way you do, how come you don't fucking, stand up and fight? It's like, dude, you know what it is to fucking go against the establishment. And the thing is nowadays, nobody has the time to fight. Nobody has the time to organize. Nobody has the time to do anything. Like the Black Panthers, bro, in that time, bro, they didn't have modern TV, modern internet. They were bored. They went to the local fucking community center and they chilled out with the community. And from there, you could organize because the community's there.
Yep.
Nowadays, to draw people to you, it's hard. And to get everybody there and organized in the same space. Because the thing is, you're not going to meet once and then boom, shit solved. No, it's constant classes, organization. Like Fred Hampton and the Black Panther used to hold classes to teach people every fucking day. Every fucking day they would have classes. Who has the time for that shit?
Bro,
nobody has the time for that
I'm
shit.
doing this for
I gotta
fun
make
and
a
I make
fucking
excuses.
living. I gotta fucking try to feed myself and not fucking die.
exactly.
I got a fucking a life to fucking live. But, I would love to have, now they're talking about 4-day work weeks. 4-day work weeks would be awesome because now I have a day to relax, I have a day to do my chores, and then I have a day to fucking get my learning on and fucking pick up a hobby or a class or whatever. Maybe fucking pick up political science.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But unless we have the time and the freedom, we're not going to progress anywhere. It's gotten so bad where they know how they got us a certain way, and it's because we were made this way. We were indoctrinated to be this way.
Correct. That's what I mean. Because it's like, it's not gonna. Keep going back to human nature. If everybody were just to see how we're living, this is the issue. We do the same shit every day. They thought the internet was gonna not be a big thing. Then it was a big thing, and then they're like, oh, look at all this knowledge. And then it's like, now you look for knowledge is suppressed by the higher ups. It's like, listen, we live in a world where the people in power will control it. And it gets to a point where your daughter, your son is going to be like, they're not going to know.
You ever heard of Aaron Schwartz?
Feel like I have.
I think that's his name. Look it up, Aaron Schwartz. So basically, this kid was like fucking a computer genius at the age of like 8, 9 or something like that. And he fought for like net neutrality. He fought for
That wasn't a Napster kid, is it?
That's him, Aaron Schwartz. So basically,
Bro, on a side note, real quick, I'm like the next Jamie, dog.
Jamie what?
From the Rogan podcast, Jamie, the producer.
Looking shit up.
Bro, I'm telling you, I was talking to mommy today. I was going ham.
Aaron Schwartz is an American computer programmer, entrepreneur, writer, political organizer, and an internet hacktivist. So basically, what happened was
He died?
He killed himself. Reason being, now this is why. So he started to organize for net neutrality, internet freedoms, freedom of knowledge through the internet and stuff like that. So what he did is he actually hacked, I think it was like the MIT or one of the major schools, Harvard. He hacked the knowledge bank, or basically their whole storage unit, or where they keep all the books, the knowledge, everything. He hacked it and made it free for everybody. They sued him, and they sued him so bad, and it gave him so many psychological issues, like it was destroying him from the inside, and he killed himself. But that's how they suppressed him. They didn't kill him blatantly. They fucking made him kill himself.
Yeah, let's read
psychologically.
Aaron Hillel Swartz, born 86, died January 11th,
So
2013.
26 years old.
Yeah,
26
was an
years old,
American
killed himself.
computer programmer, entrepreneur, writer, political organizer, and internet hacktivist. Oh shit, they're gonna try to give me a goddamn ad. You saw that? He was involved in the development of the web feed format. He developed RSS. Holy shit. The Markdown publishing format, the organization Creative Commons, and the website framework website
Reddit. So he helped develop Reddit.
He
too.
helped develop Reddit. 6 months after his founding, he was given the title of co-founder of Reddit, owner of programmers of the format of the Bug Inc., Reddit Solutions. In 2011, Swartz was arrested by Massachusetts
MIT.
MIT.
Yeah, it was MIT.
Police.
Breaking and entering charges after connecting a computer to the MIT network in an unmarked, unlocked closet and setting it to download academic journal articles systematically from JSTOR. Using JSTOR is like where they hold all the academic journals, like all the theses that students write and that were ever written, fucking papers, everything is inside JSTOR. Every bit of knowledge that you need to learn anything in fucking life is saved in that system.
And
he hacked it and unlocked it all. But they sued him for fraud, not plagiarism. What is that shit? Let's see if it says there. Fraud, abuse act.
They charged him with a set forfeiture, restitution, and supervised release. He was found dead in his Brooklyn apartment where he committed suicide. Did he commit suicide or did they murder him?
I don't know who's to say, but you know the fact that you can see that it said there that they pressured him for all that shit, and he
Grand larceny.
That's what it was.
Yeah, they got him on the state charges of breaking and entering with intent, grand larceny, and unauthorized access to a computer network.
He was a genius. He was on a point to organizing and getting people to fucking fight for knowledge, bro. And they harassed him under bureaucracy, fucking put him through the system, and he fucking killed himself. Sad fucking story, bro. I saw a documentary on his life. It was fucking insane. Kid was a fucking genius. The shit that he did at his age, bro. I was just smoking weed in high school, and this kid was developing fucking web platforms. Like,
that's crazy,
you know?
bro. It almost makes you feel like, what the fuck was I doing?
You know, like I didn't have. Like,
I think it was just.
We didn't start the race
though.
at the same fucking place. You know.
Yeah. It's genetics, though. It has to be.
I don't know.
It has to be, bro.
I don't know what his background is or where his family's from, but it just is.
You know what? Yeah. Let me see. I want to see something. I want to go to early life. Hold on. Where the fuck is the early life?
I think he passed it. Probably in the beginning. Go to the. Go down.
Oh no, that's the actor. What the fuck?
Scroll down to the table of contents.
Yeah, it normally says it like.
Go
there we go. Alma Mater. He's Harvard, Stanford. For Brooklyn. Oh, died in Brooklyn.
Yeah, he died in Brooklyn, born in Illinois.
There you go.
So he was American, but I don't know where his heritage is from.
Swartz.
Yeah, but you know, fucking shit like that, man. It's all
Early
oppression.
life. Yeah, they don't even say that.
We can't learn, because if we learn, we tend to progress for better standards of living, and they have to keep shit a certain way because that's the way the system is. You know, the same way the lobbyists, the oil company pay lobbyists to keep certain EV things and solar panels at bay, so that way they could keep making more money. The same way pharmaceutical companies lobby to fucking stop cures, or the same way hedge funds fucking short a pharmaceutical company so that way they don't produce the next fucking medicine that could cure a certain cancer in a different category that they're still making money on. So no matter what it is, bro, we're always going to be oppressed, repressed, and fucking kept back because they don't want the system, or they don't want their system to change. We don't have fucking freedom. We just have
the illusion of it.
Or we're just here. We're basically just fucking here. And that's how a lot of people are. They just go to work, come back home, and they're just fucking here, bro. They're not here to better anything. They're not here to make anybody's life better, help anybody. Fucking some people are, but majority of us are just too individualized that we just don't care about anything else because we're too worried about focusing by ourselves and how to get food on the table and all this bullshit. But can you imagine if we had all the sustainability to survive and actually learn and grow as a people, as a tribe, and fucking solve world hunger and all this shit? It's fucking crazy,
bro. I was in once again a Rogan podcast. Did you see this the budget for California's homelessness? Bro, wait till I show you this number. Wait till you see this number. Or matter of fact, we're gonna go straight just Los Angeles. We don't even gotta go. Boom. Fuck it. 2020. That's all they plan. $1 billion. Bro, this is what they were saying. I forgot who was on this shit. Bro, that's annually. $1 billion.
But the thing is, they could pay for that shit, bro.
No, but this is the peep game, though. People, this one guy.
You know how many billionaires are in fucking California?
You ever heard of Colin Noir? He's a black Second Amendment guy.
No.
He's a black dude, lawyer, smart as hell, articulate, pro Second Amendment, was NRA, but then dipped off in the NRA because he was like, I think they doing some fuck shit and I don't like it. YouTube channel, they shadow ban him on Instagram, everything, right? Normal dude, like he's like balanced. And he brought this up. And he was like, hey, because he went to Skid Row and went to talk to them. Right? And like was like, wait, this is crazy. He said, how much is the budget? They were like $1 billion. And they're like, all right, who's on the board? Here's the list of people. He was like, what's their salary? Because it's public information. Bro, $250,000, $200,000, $135,000 a year. And he was like, listen, if you solve the issue, you no longer have a job because there's no issue to solve. They're not going to solve the issue.
Because they're getting fucking paid. You got to give them some incentive to make the money.
So if you give me $250,000 a year to solve homelessness, I'm not going to solve it.
If you save the American government $250,000 or $250 million, we'll give you $1 million, But just save us $250 million.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Like,
bro, I'll be like, yo, cut that budget, save that motherfucker some money. Let's go.
Let's do that.
All right. Well, I gotta head out soon.
You know what I mean?
Just wrap this up.
Well, with that, I mean, that's a good way to end that shit, to be honest. Yo, thank you once again for being here, bro. And it's greatly appreciated. And you know what?
Ayer estuvo el diablo aquí.
Y huele como sulfur. Todavía huele como
en este mismo lugar huele a azufre todavía.
That motherfucker's a G, dog.
Bro,
He's
right after,
G.
I don't know if anybody knows, that was right after George Bush took the podium at the United Nations.
Yup.
Chavez came after them and said it.
Yup, George Bush.
Sulfur.
Yeah, for those who don't
The devil
understand.
was here and it still smells like sulfur.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, the devil was here. Bush did it. And then Chavez went the next day. And he was like, the devil was here yesterday. He made the sign of the cross. It was like, and it still smells like sulfur. And then he went on to talk about George Bush being a devil. But I had to drop that shit, you know what I'm saying?
We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave,
Thank
you
you
remember
for
I
dropping
said,
them from gems. I got some documentaries and some research that I want to get on. And I'm going to do that. Hopefully you come back and we do this again.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you, fam.
Yeah, bro.
You already know. AWOL Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. You already know that good shit. And we are out of here. Peace.